I'm just using the time here just to lay back and relax. I don't care if my hair is messy or whatever. But I thought, well, I must do one more video since I have the internet connection here. And this has to do with the fourth step of preparation once uh, people are in place on a plot of land and more or less settled. The next step is to be able to generate your own gasoline or take gasoline and be able to extend it uh, exponentially, right? Because when the shortages come, when the oil is shut off to America, when all this Middle East war starts up, you will find that oil will be shut off. You will see $20 a gallon gas. You think that is expensive now? You just wait. It's going to get to the place where you will not be able to afford to take your car to the grocery store, right? And if you got any gas, it's going to be like liquid gold. And people are going to steal it from you. They'll probably even take your life. That's how precious gas is going to come. So instead of teaching you, giving you a fish, the Lord's, Jesus has put the understanding in my heart to teach you to fish, and that is to how you can take waste to make into fuel. This is not a new concept, but when it's merged with the joepipe technology that the Lord has given me, it is a new concept where you can take gasoline or oil or whatever petroleum fuel and you turn it into a distillate, like a water fuel combination, and you turn that into a super fuel. And when you burn it, it should create like a plasma, right? A very intense heat source. But I've been messing around with this for years. I know that it works. So I need for you guys to take a look at two technologies. One is the joepipe technology, JOEPIPE technology. I have over 500 to 600 uploads, postings on YouTube under joepipe, maybe just several hundred or so. And since I started posting in probably 2007, 2006, just a few years after Jesus first gave me the dream about the joepipe technology, which is a quantum energy generator. And I don't expect you guys to understand plasma science or quantum theory or whatever, just that it works. I've seen the outcome. So you need to study and research the joepipe technology, which is basically fuel like propane or water gas and a mixture of air burning inside of a pipe. It is an implosion burn. The fire is implosion, is not explosion, but it does generate explosion-like reactions outside of the pipe. And it's controllable, and you can vary the heat of the fuel just by turning down the air. You don't even have to touch the fuel. You can turn the heat up or down just by making the air faster or slower. It has a lot of unique properties, so you need to research that, right? Get an understanding for it. You need to make your own prototypes. You can even use the fan off a computer, like an old fashioned computer, the power supplies. You can use the fans on that would work to run a joepipe, right? And the other technology that you need to research is called it was developed by a man who's now passed on, a fellow inventor, Christian believer by the name of Paul Pantone. He developed what is called the GEET, GEET fuel processor. Jesus gave him this technology, and with it, he's able to power a two-stroke or four-stroke engine he's able to run it on straight crude oil, right? Straight crude oil. And where there is no carbon emissions, there's zero carbon footprint. So all this garbage about climate change and having to get rid of fossil fuel is a bunch of garbage. It's a lie from the pit of hell. He's proven that you can take gasoline, battery acid, Pepsi Cola, coffee, and mix it together. And what you do, you take the heated exhaust from the engine and you use it to vaporize the hydrocarbon mix. As long as it's got a 10% carbon base, you you bring it into vapor form using the heat. You put it through the GEET fuel processor, and it turns it into an implosion fuel. When it burns, there is no carbon footprint. All the carbon is transmuted into heat. Okay? Now, if you take the two concepts, if you take the joepipe technology and you merge it with the GEET technology, you would have a super hybrid system. Do you understand what I'm saying? This would allow whoever has this to generate an unlimited supply of fuel. In other words, you would never be out of fuel. And this has not been tried yet. I know that both systems work independently. To make it into a hybrid system, you would need a heat source, which is supplied by the joepipe. The joepipe will also make the fuel vapor or hydrocarbon vapor to be used as a stock fuel to be processed into a GEET gas. And you also need a vacuum source, some kind of inline vacuum generator. Or you could use a generator set, make the GEET gas run a generator set to make a hybrid system. Like you put a driver system together first. You guys that are scientifically minded, I'm sure that you understand what I'm saying. This is the next step as far as gasification, and where you take your hydrocarbon mix, you use heat to break it down into vapor form. Basically, you want to break it down into a chemically shifted state, into the third state of matter, where the vapor has undergone a chemical shift, where it stabilizes as a true third state vapor, which is like a dry vapor to be processed by the GEET reactor. And so this would solve some of the problems that the GEET has. And you'd be able to make unlimited supplies of GEET gas, which is compressible, that will run any type of combustion engine or heat source. It burns very hot. It burns 100% clean. You can actually breathe the exhaust. There is no pollution in the exhaust. The exhaust comes out, the same as the air that you breathe. That's how clean it is. There is no pollution in GEET gas. And so by merging the joepipe and the GEET systems together, you got the best systems in the world. And if I actually use the GEET gas and use it as a fuel to run a modified joepipe system, it should be easy enough to trip the quantum state to where that GEET gas would produce a quantum anomaly or a plasma anomaly of around 7,000 maybe to 10,000 degrees or above. And with that heat source, you can take any waste. It doesn't matter what it is. It can even be human waste, but you have the heat source to gasify it to where you can actually make your fuels using conventional technology, right? So, you guys out there, you need to think about this. I can't really do this by advising you. I would have to be down there to help you, and you would have to have the shops and the facilities where we could work on this, but I'm just giving you a heads up. But whoever has this will have the means to generate an unlimited supply of fuel. And this is meant for the places of refuge. And, people will be bringing their gold and their silver to you in exchange for a tank of fuel. But the signs look evident that we are coming into the first year of Chuck Yan Brandt's timeline, right, in 2020. Looks like the signs are there. And by September, you will know for sure, but definitely with the a repeat of 2008, looks like we are at the early beginnings of this timeline. And also this, when the Lord showed me the 7 open visions of the destruction of the West Coast, I saw Canada at 600% hyperinflation. In other words, this hyperinflation would already be in process in the States. So we're coming very, very, very close to all these events happening. Going to get this out to you. We need to hold on to the hand of Jesus, people. We need to spend our times in the Word, getting to know the Lord, to up our relationship with Him, to learn to walk in the Spirit and learn to hear His voice, not to walk in fear, not to walk in panic, but to walk in the peace of God. That's our heritage. That's the kingdom. So I'm just going to let it here. Hold on to the hands of Jesus, because the ride's going to get rough. This is Donald Edward Taylor, Joshua, coming to you from here in North Bend, British Columbia, Canada.